Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 183. Did you want this here for a reason?
Yeah, so I was just trying to adjust it because sometimes we get variants or whatever. So I'm throwing,
we do.
Just all around.
We do. Maybe we do a 2-track thing from I'll Bring the Mic that Chuggalos Phil got me.
I just need to build like I said, just buy a mixer. Like I said, I know all the equipment. We were just talking about this. We're actually doing a little bit of pre-production today for you folks. And one of them is just buying a mixer. But we sit like right on, we couldn't be any closer. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're close.
It's weird
we
how
could be
this
closer,
fits.
but I think this is about the right
distance. So we don't turn into like the ambiguously gay duo from Saturday Night Live. Love that skit.
Oh, I loved it.
Robert Smigel.
Yeah.
But anyways, thoughts?
Yes. I guess
about the mic.
Yeah. Well, I did have a thought about that. I feel like we're getting to this. It's not a plateau because we're always learning.
Yeah.
But we're at this it's kind of starting to bell curve a little on the left side of the bell curve with beer knowledge, and we're starting to get into this we're having interests in the technical world.
Yes.
Where you're thinking about setups, lights, mics, and stuff, and I've been thinking about getting back into video editing.
Yeah.
It's interesting time in the podcast.
Stuff we've thought about since episode 10, but that ebbs and flows.
There's so much focus on beer.
Yeah.
For the first 182 episodes.
Right.
Now we're let's get this. Let's amp up the production. Let's get some content out there.
We're definitely a quantity versus quality, and we admit that. I mean, this is a shoestring fly-by-night budget. Our first mic, we all pitched in $10 or whatever it was.
It was more than that. It was 25, I think.
Yeah, and then upgraded to this. And we still record on a Microsoft Surface. There's no camera software or anything like that. So
it's good though.
That's why we're askew or whatever. So a little bit washed out today, just trying to figure out the light and everything. So all is well.
Is your front-facing camera as good as your rear-facing camera?
I've never checked, but I need to see that. I don't.
No,
know
I know that. Yeah, I agree. But some in the iPad, the front-facing is always just slightly less good than the rear-facing camera, which I don't understand for the iPad in particular because the usage here.
Yeah,
it's the same.
Because I've got a better webcam that I could always hook up, but this is the integrated one is right now.
People haven't complained
because our cameras that we use when we do distanced and we can do screen sharing and all that fun stuff. Those are better cameras.
Those are way better.
Way better cameras.
We're gonna get an 8K camera here soon.
Yeah.
For really high def stuff. So
then smell-o-vision.
Ooh.
But
we don't already put that out?
No.
I've been bottling our smells.
Putting
them out with the videos.
I definitely put out a vibe.
I upload them. There's a USB that I screw bottles into. I catch our smells. I put it in the computer. I don't know what happens to it after that. I thought I had smell-o-vision going.
PFM. Pure fucking magic.
That's right.
So I have a situation for you, and I did tell JT, so I go, an unbelievable situation, and he goes, how do you want me to react? And we just decided to go organic, and that's all I
didn't tell me the situation.
Okay, so here's the situation before we get into the beer. So my cousins were in town, and he's a guy that, and this is going to be my question, he's a guy that's down for anything. Okay. So I chilled a couple of really good beer. I chilled 120 minute. I chilled a CBS.
Sure.
We went to Pat's. He bought a lot of stuff at Pat's. We came back and it's just drink whatever. Yeah. And he's in Pennsylvania, and I was hoping he would bring something just that we'd be able to talk about, and he forgot. It happens. But anyways, here's the story. So they were just on vacation in February. Okay. They were sitting on a beach, and they were talking about beer with these people next to them, and they didn't know them they didn't travel with them or anything like that. And it came up that his cousin does a podcast, a beer podcast.
No shit.
And they gave him a business card and everything. And the brewery owners, they're Natural 20 Brewing, and they're in Spokane Valley, Washington. I have their business card and everything. He goes, what's the name of the podcast? And because I hadn't seen this cousin for a while, he didn't know that he's not a Chuggalo by any means. We didn't change the name. So he's like, the Butt Chug Podcast. And here's the thing. He said that they knew the podcast and they loved it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Pretty
this is unbelievable.
Pretty
Spokane,
unbelievable.
Washington?
But this isn't like, that's like something I would say that this cousin is a stand-up dude. It just is shocking, and they've never said anything. So if you're a brewery and you listen to us, please let us know below or in the Facebook comments, or send us a text or something like that, because we can be bought.
We'll get you in.
Just
get
because-
you in on the show.
Just because you
Oh,
listen.
we can be bought.
Yeah,
we said non-pretentious, but never did we say unbiased.
Yeah, no,
we're gonna be biased as shit.
I will be unbiased when I'm reviewing your beer in your presence. Because every time we've done it,
I know that's true.
We've been stand-up guys.
joke.
We always buy our own beer. Oh no. But if we're away or whatever, oh yeah, no, we're bought.
We're bought.
Yeah. So if you own a brewery, I know Jason has listened from time to time, and I'm repping Crooked Handle today. Not by design, just happened to be. But please let us know. Like,
let us
email
know.
us, reach out to us on the socials, all of that stuff.
Or you own a beer store.
Yep.
A store that sells it, a bar, or you're a distributor. You homebrew. Your name's Stev. Any of those things.
Yeah. Steph, let us know if you still listen.
Let us know if you exist and want to, just be on the show.
So your natural reaction was the same as mine. I couldn't be both. Too good to be true that this random dude in Mexico knew your cousin's podcast.
So my initial thought when we first started this podcast, way back in 2018, when we were just young men, my initial thought, and the reason why I thought Butt Chug Podcast was not unreasonable.
Right.
As time went on, I think we agreed it was probably a stupid name. But at first I was like, this is attention grabbing.
Yeah.
And anyone, if you say, oh, my cousin has this podcast called the Butt Chug Podcast, and you're a brewer who searched for podcasts, even if you didn't listen,
right,
you probably will remember that there was one called the Butt Chug Podcast.
Yeah. So maybe
that was my first thought.
Are they Chuggalos?
So maybe that works.
I would love knowing that they're Chuggalos. It'd give us a destination. We're eventually going to get to a point where we just hop in a car and take this shit on the road. It's coming. I feel like it's there. So anyways, I just thought I would share that with you. And then my question from that is, what kind of beer drinking? We got to come up with different, there's Chads and Karens and all that stuff names. We got to come up with beer drinking friend names, like the guy that always shows up and has nothing. Like my cousin brought a 6-pack of Juice Force from New Belgium, which are Voodoo Ranger Juice Force. I've been wanting that. It's a 9.5 beer.
Holy shit!
It's a punch you in the mouth, and there's a lot of orange.
I think I heard of that beer.
Yeah, it's very popular right now. So I was awesome. So he didn't show up empty-handed, but we need to identify people. So that's the one guy I will say that shows up with a 6-pack. But we'll drink the entire weekend. And
his name is
No, we got I'm gonna say
it's not Chad.
No, that's not Chad. Chad is a guy that shows up, brings nothing, and drinks all of your good shit.
Drinks the good stuff.
Yeah, that's a Chad.
Yeah.
It'll come to me. But anyways,
we'll get it.
So those are my two things I had. Your beer friends, and then that ridiculous connection. It's hard to believe. I have no reason to not believe my cousin. It just seems unbelievable that this random brewery.
It does seem unbelievable.
Which again, they're going to get a no shout either way. Natural 20 Brewing. I will tag them below on the video or whatever, because if this is the case, I want to hear the story.
Yeah.
I have a business card.
If you can even get us one beer, again, which we'll pay for.
Yep. So
we'll share it and review it, talk about it.
Jackie Carlson. She's the owner and the taproom manager. Natural20brewing.com.
Natural 20 Brewing.
And they're nerds too. Like the Natural 20, it's a 20-sided dice on their business card.
Oh, look at that. We could make a connection with D20.
Yep, that's what they are. They play video games all night and run the brewery during the day. Super nice people.
Where in Mexico were they? Is that private?
I honestly
don't want to dox these people.
Mexico. Well, they're no longer in Mexico, so we're not doxing them.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But you could look up the logs, like Epstein. Flight logs.
True. Very, very deliberate.
They got a lot of flight logs.
What was your thing? You said you had a question.
Yeah, I know you are generous. I guess an IOU fulfiller. You're generous in that. So Chuggalos Phil, he's
Yep.
in California, and as you know, one of my favorite beers all time is the Cali Creamin'.
Yep.
And so not only is he getting me 24 of those, he's giving me 24 of the orange cream Cali Creamin'.
Can we do a over-under right now? Put comments down below. Over-under how many of those he's transporting back in his prison safe.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with 3.
all 48.
Or we'll say 2.5. It's either more or less than 2.5.
more or less. I guess it depends on.
We'll ask him during the next advent calendar.
He's driving back, so not 0.
That's a long.
You
that's
gotta
a long
wait for
drive.
all the details. Yeah, he drove there. They drove there.
I'm gonna go over.
You're still going over under the prison safe. So, total price, it's 8 4-pack or 8 6-packs, and they're $9.99 each. They're reasonably priced for California, I have to say. So I gave him $100. You think that's enough, or would you have gone higher than that?
And he's driving it.
He's not specifically driving my beer, but he's got other things he's driving back.
I've seen Smokey and the Bandit. They're running.
They're running more than 48 beers though.
Why? I don't want to. I don't want to dox him. That's probably illegal.
He's been doxed.
That's probably
I'm pretty
illegal.
sure Jackie Gleason figured out how much beer he was, almost within the hour.
Yeah. So you gave him $100.
You think that's not enough?
I would throw something else in.
So we're at like $80 total cost, but and the favor. Extra 20.
Yeah, so the beer that I always have to have people buy for me, and it's just a standing. All the Chuggalos back in Wisconsin, Chuggalo Pete's done it too. Is $129. I always give much more. I always give 25% more because it's just money.
25% is good. That's what I get.
Yeah, so then you're good.
I'm good. And keep in mind he's the Svil.
Yeah.
So I could just stiff him, and he has no choice but to still be a part of my extended family.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Now
I'm gonna stiff him. All right, I'm gonna take that money.
Now my father-in-law, if he's listening, my father-in-law will often show up with 40 beers and won't accept money.
Now my mom does not take money when she buys beer.
Yeah,
she does not take money from me.
But she accepts hugs. My father-in-law.
Accepts them.
I don't want to make him sound like a weirdo because he gives good hugs. Oh, he got me good this weekend.
I'm not a good hugger, so I don't even offer that.
But I don't think he's taking that as trade. He got me good. I'll have to tell you off camera because I don't want recorded, and he didn't let me leave it down for the entire weekend.
He didn't let you leave it down?
Oh yeah, no. I put my foot in my mouth. No, I wasn't too mess scented all this weekend.
I'm just kidding.
But anyways, it was just a fun verbal sparring because I am kind of a smart ass.
So while you get the beer, I'll pose one more question. So your cousin is not from around here?
No, he's from Wisconsin. They just happen to live in eastern Pennsylvania.
That's right. You said that. Okay. So you did some typical stomping grounds. But there used to be even more, and I know you said that Tanks has returned to its original glory. Did you try any food haunts?
Didn't go anywhere.
No shit.
Didn't go anywhere. We went to Pat's.
You went to Pat's. That's right. Yeah. So you went to Pat's, but you didn't go eat anywhere.
Nope. Because the weather was crappy, and my in-laws were also down too, and they're like, "Hey, we'll watch the kids," because my cousins, they have a daughter that's nearing 2, and they're like, "Hey, we'll watch the kids. You guys go somewhere." But at that point, no one was motivated. We all lacked motivation.
Yeah.
And there's enough booze in this house to satisfy a aircraft carrier for a little bit. So
the booze, in this house, you're never going to be unsatisfied with booze. But I don't consider this to be a place that houses a lot of carbohydrates, and I need those when I'm drinking.
So like Saturday we ordered sows.
There's not enough bread in that.
I thought it was plenty.
Like sows. That's Chinese food.
Yeah. Oh, it's delicious Chinese food.
Yeah, but like.
I did Saturday.
You've been with me when I've been drunk and ordered food. I want just the bread.
Yeah.
Bring me all the bread.
Yeah. I ate my entire.
I want an all bread dinner.
Chow mei feng.
Because I need to soak it up.
Yeah. No, I was good.
And it was hot too. When we went, I could use the bread to kind of dip my.
Friday night, my wife made cracked chicken, which is crock pot chicken with cream cheese and other secret ingredients or whatever, so it just turns in like a sloppy Joe with chicken.
Oh, that sounds good.
But it's not sloppy Joe sauce, but you know, like what I'm saying,
This
like
sounds
shredded,
amazing.
shredded chicken. It's fantastic. It's healthy as shit. But
is
like,
it healthy?
Oh yeah, because
it's like keto.
Yeah, there's no carbs. And then
I love cream cheese, by the way.
Everyone else wants their carbs, so like there's chips and stuff on the side. And then we had a fire, and then I wanted something more, so I just made myself a pizza when everyone else went to bed.
Oh, nice. So
which is the worst. You want to eat all your carbs after 11 o'clock at night.
Definitely. You want to go to bed full of carbs.
Yeah, that's the best.
Let that be the energy burn.
Yeah, but no, we didn't go anywhere, unfortunately.
It's all right. All right. Let's
believe me. Sad for a moment, but the price was right. Okay, so on to beer number one.
Beer number one.
What was your initial reaction? You're familiar with this beer.
Oh, I'm familiar with this beer, yeah.
So this is the first distinguishable New England IPA that I ever had. Mm-hmm. This is Lord Hobo Boom Sauce. And Cobra gifted me this beer in the parking lot of a now defunct bar about 2 miles from here. It was called Fox and Hound.
Oh, yeah.
And it's no longer in operation. So anyways, let's just go with the crack. So, fun story. And it wasn't primed. Now it is. 3, 2, 1. The interesting thing with this beer is, so we both had it. I didn't realize when I bought it and started doing my research that it was a double IPA.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I thought this was a special edition.
I thought this was in New England.
So when I bought it, I was like, oh sweet, everyone's had boom sauce. Mm-hmm. But we haven't had the double.
But you thought this was a special one.
But it's not.
But it's not. Oh well.
It's not.
That's all right.
So that's why I bought it. So when I was doing my research.
I'll be honest. Everything I remember about it holds up.
So anyways, this is Lord Hobo Boom Sauce. It's a DIPA, a double New England. It comes in at 7.8%, which is great for a DIPA. So then it's still tastes big, but it's not, like a Truth is 7.2. You can find out more from lordhobo.com. They started, guess when they started?
2018.
2015. So Cobra must have, because this was pre-podcast when he gifted us those beers.
Oh, it was.
So it had to have been early 2018 or late 2017, but I remember it was summer because it was warm out. You go to their website, the first thing that you notice after you check your age, we're hiring.
Lord Hobo's hiring.
Lord Hobo is hiring. They make a great product. Something that you need to know about their can, just to help you up, tip up, if you will, for the can art boner segment. Mm-hmm. All their can art is very similar to this. It's just a different color.
I didn't know that.
Different color palette. But this is their flagship beer. This is their Truth.
I've not seen another Lord Hobo beer. I don't believe.
Yeah, no, neither have I.
Okay.
And there wasn't any, so I bought this at Pat's.
I'm a frequent Arrow goer, and I've not seen and they have boom sauce. I've not seen another Lord Hobo beer. It's weird. I'm trying to think. Can't think of one.
They self-distribute, and the big takeaway from their website is it's simple but in an elegant way. All the information is there, but it's not busy. And I did this on mobile. I didn't do it at my computer. So both beer websites were optimized for mobile consumption. But yeah, so they have their tasting room, and it's just outside of Boston, just like everything in Massachusetts here, either Boston or just outside of Boston. So again, I present to you Lord Hobo Boom Sauce. Again, I did not know it was a DIPA. I thought I got something special.
It'll be fun to review. We haven't, I don't believe we've done a beer that we've had and have talked about and
didn't know what it was.
So much to this beer. This is not just a beer that we've had. This is a beer that we've had and remember and talk about.
To stick with the New England theme, it has Providence in our group.
Yes.
See, New England, Providence.
Providence.
See, geography, everything.
Oh, I love
blowing minds.
Mm-hmm. This is the Can Boner segment brought to you by Chuggalo Mom. Still,
yeah, she's going for the record.
She's getting her money's worth here, and I say that because she won't take money.
I know Chuggalo Stev has about 80 cans, so he's going to be running rampant. He's going to be running
80 cans.
No, I'm just going to guess.
I think that's about what he's got. If I had to guess, he spent his life saving.
He said 2 Yeti coolers. I hope.
Yeti coolers have huge walls.
Oh, they do?
Really thick walls. So you could fit about, like in a Yeti cooler that's the size of this table, you could probably fit about a 4-pack in there.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
It'll stay.
You can fit more.
It'll stay cool till 2030.
It will stay cool. I've seen some reviews on YouTube, and apparently these Yeti coolers are unbelievable. In the way that it was unbelievable that someone heard of our podcast from Washington. Similarly,
we need to make an unbelievable chart. That would be at the top.
Like, I think, you know the guy who does videos with Charlie Barron, the Iowa guy?
Yeah.
He had like 13 days he had ice still in there. In the Yeti cooler. But he jokes about Yetis a lot, so maybe it wasn't real. I don't know. Hard to tell.
Crazy.
Anyway, the one thing I'll have to admit, you could ask me who makes boom sauce any day before today, and I would not have gotten it, right, Lord Hobo? I don't know if that's on me. You self-distribute, and I feel like you should continue to make this available everywhere, but rotate another beer out so that we remember who you are. That's my only criticism in like a negative way. The rest of this is all uphill. This can art is it's perfect for what it is. The boom sauce, you could go so many directions with this can art. Just given the name, you could go the Pipeworks route and just make your can like a fucking crazy
sorry, Stacy,
explosion of color and imagery. You could go you could go this route, which is very plain, or you can kind of go in the middle and maybe, have like a picture. You could have a sauce theme or a boom theme or whatever. But nope, they were like, plain. Let's just make it plain. It'll be black. It's perfect. This can stands out as much as we've had black cans. There's a can of beer that I had in Kenya that just said beer on it. It was a white can, just said beer on it in black letters. That one stands out because it's so plain. This has that similar feel to it where, yeah, it's not beer, it's boom sauce, but it stands out because it is so basic. So that's the can art bonus segment. There's not a lot to be said. I don't want to give it too much attention just because of how basic it is. Sometimes I reflect on the beers that I've praised. And I think, did I go hard on that beer and maybe...
I wish we had some like angelic heart music. Sometimes I reflect.
That'd be cool if we had like old things that I said in the past about boom sauce, because I've said a lot and I just don't feel like listening to every episode to get all those out. And I'm like, did I overdo it? No, not with boom sauce. This beer is so good. And it's so good in a way that's not the same as like Pliny or 120 Minute or something that gets a high score because of its like prestige and
you don't drink those
because of the complexity.
Yeah,
this is a top 10 beer in my hundreds of beer. I don't know if I'm in the thousands yet, but hundreds of beers. This is top 10. Because it's so smooth, it's so refreshing, it's so drinkable. The hops are exactly at the level that you would need. If it's just crazy that this is not a New England IPA. The hops are exactly where they should be for what I would consider a juicy IPA, a New England IPA, hazy IPA. This is a DIPA. You can't taste.
You can be a double New England.
You can be a double New England. Yeah, that's true. It's right where it should be to just be an amazing beer. I can't think of one complaint. You can't pick out, I don't think, other than the hops, and I personally can't distinguish the hop types, but you can't pick out any flavor other than that. But it's not so dank that that's all you taste. You taste beer and hops, and it's perfect. It's balanced. It's so good. I really thought that maybe I'd overdone my accolades of boom sauce, but having the first half of this can I was just like, holy shit, this beer is so good. I should really be buying this on a more regular basis. I feel stupid for not having bought it in so long because of how good it is. Man, I don't even know what I gave this before, but this beer is a 5.
I didn't even record it, so it's just some of the frustrations because I signed up for Untapped, and I don't need to be reminded, but it's kind of like it's just achievements or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember having this beer and it's not in my Untapped, so I've gone through phases or whatever. I just try to be better about it. Like a weekend full of debauchery or whatever. You obviously have a lot of repeats.
Yeah.
But I hadn't recorded this one. So a 5, very prestigious beer. Off the top rope. This is the first one I've had in years, probably since that last one. I don't ever recall buying it for myself, but that's not. I'm going to say that there's the potential that I did.
That possibility exists.
That I did have it. Off the top rope, I give this a 4.25. I like how it would be right up there with the top tier again, like Truth, those daily drinkers that you always want to have in your fridge at all times, like Psychopathy from Mad Tree. He didn't have any Truth. Pat didn't have any Truth, so I gifted my cousin a couple of Mad Trees. Things that he can't get there because of distribution. But yeah, off the top rope, I like it. It's just I wish it was amped up a little bit more on some of the citrus or some of the haze notes. You can tell it's there. The nice thing is when I was checking this beer in on tap, they make like a Cascade variant of this. They make a Citra variant of it. That's still boom sauce.
Yeah.
But they have a few different variants of those. I want those. So gimmick this to me. There's nothing. I'm just so glad I found it, and because it's just such a fun. It's part of the reason why we started this because again, that's when you couldn't get it here, and it actually came from New England.
And it actually came from this one does.
Yeah, this one came from about a mile that way, but when I first had
it came from Massachusetts.
Yeah, but like he keistered it from like he was up there on a vacation.
Oh, okay.
And he keistered
it. I just I loved it. Everything. I think I like this more than Truth.
That's fair. It's defensible.
So,
I'm not. I would never get into a stick fight.
Oh,
with people. Now, if somebody was like, I don't like Truth, but I like IPAs, then I would get into like.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we'd have to be like, is it derivative or is there something?
Yeah. What's buried in that?
What? Let's dissect that. But different strokes, different folks. I mean, you are more of a fan of Boat Show than you are of Truth. Also,
true.
So,
yeah, that's
Truth
that's
is just my staple.
It is a good staple. I have it more than Boat Show, and I was a little put off by Yellow Springs, but that's all.
But so my cousin is a big Truth fan too. So I turned him on to Knowledge.
Oh yeah.
He ended up buying most of the Knowledge out. So I was like, hey, we'll drink my Knowledge.
Yeah.
And then you take this home.
You can take your fresh Knowledge home.
Yeah, and you take your fresh one home.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good.
And then, again, as a fantastic beer drinking friend, I gave him a couple of beers that I have lined up for the podcast in the upcoming weeks. And I was like, you can have this. Don't tell me what you think. And there was one beer I asked him that I've, been... Before it was supposed to be today, but I got Lord Hobo, and I couldn't wait on the excitement that was. And I go, did you like it? And he goes, this is a good beer. And he goes, but you swore me to secrecy. I'm not going to say anything more. And I'm like, good man. That's an honest drinker like that.
Wow,
dependable.
You swore him to secrecy on Boom Sauce?
No, on another beer that we're going to do.
Okay.
So. Because he goes, I never know when to go into your fridge and what I can have. Because again, people know I have stuff lined up. Or,
You got there's a system in there.
Take something, but I'll let you know if I want to hear your thoughts.
It's like you just ate the food I was saving for the soup kitchen.
Yeah, for the
you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Why did you do that,
bastard?
There was on my way here.
Yeah,
there was a man who I take the same way here every time. And I don't want to sound like an asshole,
That's my job.
But I pick the times that I give. This might be a bigger conversation we have to have later, but I pick the times that I give to homeless people. Like I choose, like, okay, I'm going to give today.
Yeah.
And this is where it might sound like I'm an asshole, but like I select my route here based on the route I will see the least amount of homeless people.
So you don't want to be...
I do see, there are a lot of places where I see them.
You don't want to be reminded... We know about the blemishes enough in society. You don't need to...
No, I don't mind being reminded because I think we need that reminder every once in a while that there are people less fortunate.
Yeah.
I don't want to be asked for money every day because I do give. And so I feel like, okay, if I give to this guy today, and I only take that route once a week when I come here, he might forget that who I am, I exist. I mean, our interaction was seconds. In a month, he might think, well, here's this asshole. Like, or not this asshole again, just like, oh, this fucking guy didn't get. Like, I don't even like even a fleeting thought that I'm not generous, but I can't give to you every time I see you.
There's a podcast.
I just don't feel like I can. Maybe I can. I don't know.
By the way, thanks for the request on the American Scandal podcast. It's riveting.
It's so good.
There's homeless people that have enough of an entrepreneurial spirit, and a lot of people don't carry cash anymore.
Yeah.
That will say, in a podcast that I listened to, the host goes, I was approached by a homeless individual, it just happens to be a podcast that's based out of California, and goes, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any cash. And the individual goes, oh, don't worry, I have Cash App or Venmo or, but there's signs now, and you'll see it, if you're, on Reddit or whatever, where people just stand there with like a QR code or whatever.
I'm not getting behind.
And they get money on that.
I'm not getting behind.
They wouldn't do it if they didn't get money.
They wouldn't, right? They wouldn't do it if they didn't get it.
It's a very self-fulfilling destiny in there.
So weird. But so I saw someone that I had not seen before. He has never. So maybe this is a newly homeless man, which makes me feel. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But I don't carry cash, and I was not gonna roll down my window to say, "Hey, I don't have cash." Like I'm not gonna put salt in the wound by saying,
"Yeah,
I see you, and I'm not giving you."
I acknowledge you.
I'm just gonna look forward and be the shithead that didn't even make eye contact because I don't have cash. But I thought about for a second. I have 4 of each beer, and I brought next week's beer here.
Yeah.
I brought 2 of each,
yeah.
So that when I get home, I put all my beers for the podcast in the garage. I'm going to bring it up to my office. That's where I have a mini fridge. I put the beer in there. This all sounds terrible in the context of a homeless person because I have a mini fridge in my office and a fucking fridge in my garage. Anyway, don't worry about any of that. What I'm saying is I thought about giving him one of the beers because I'd still have a beer to review.
Yeah.
But I don't know that would be appreciated. In Chicago, I'll say this. Do not give them anything other than money. Homeless people, that is.
Right.
They don't want food.
Yeah. They'll trash your food.
Don't give them a snack.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might need a snack.
But they
don't want it.
Yeah.
They want money. So I was like, I'm not going to give them a beer. I'm just going to pretend like I'm just an asshole.
But can beggars be choosers? Anyway,
there's a lot here. Can beggars be choosers?
Yeah.
Well, in this case, in Chicago, absolutely.
Just a bunch of cis white gendered dudes talking about
right about
donations.
Homeless people. And we don't. Yeah. All I'm saying is there are times where I'm like I'm purposely going to. There's one that I see on the 35 all the time.
Yeah.
The exit is Smithville. I'm like, that guy, I see him all the time. I can give him something. Either he's homeless or he's persistent. Either way, he earned this.
The guy down by Nutter Center, it's ruined for me. I've seen him walk multiple times with wads. I don't care if it's $1 bills.
You gotta put that shit
hundreds of dollars. And I've seen him walking and counting.
You don't have to look home. Like if you look clean, that's fine. Like maybe you're new or maybe you found a shelter or something. But it's like, don't have wads of cash.
Yeah.
That's the one red flag there.
Nope. Not interested.
I want to give.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, I like everything about this. This next beer.
Okay, so this next beer is Epicurean Cherries Jubilee. Let's go with the crack.
Let's
God,
go with
2
the
in a
crack.
row.
Yeah, this one's not primed at all. I don't even know how I'm gonna get in there because I cut my fingernails recently.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Okay. So we've had Epicurean before. They're the ones that have a quasi-unique relationship with Urban Artifact, which is out of Cincinnati or Blue Mound, so it's on the northern part of Cincinnati. We'll just call it Cincinnati. Cherries Jubilee is a fruited ale. Comes in at 7%, comes in a pint can. You can find out more at artifactbeer.com. I encourage you to go there because it's a wonderful website. They're a fully operational brewery, production brewery, that operates in the basement of a church that's still active.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. That last part is the key.
And
that's the key.
So they still have a lively congregation, and in the basement, they have an amazing, we went there a couple years ago for a Bobo. It was an awesome space.
Mm-hmm.
They do all their production on site, and it's just crazy the amazing relationship that a active church and a brewery have, and they build off of each other. They're known. Urban Artifact is known for fruited beers and sours.
Sours, yeah.
The one thing, if you go to their website that I haven't seen and I absolutely adore, is they have Radio Artifact. They play music on their website, and it's like an embedded player, and it's a lot of funk. I mean, it's a lot of what you
embedded player from what? So they paste it in.
Yep, and you can
like
play music
like a URL or something.
Yep. So like
API maybe.
Yeah, it's almost it looks like Winamp. That's what I identify with.
Okay,
So it's a little player,
Yeah.
but like a funk, like what you can almost smell when you play that music. So I listened to a couple of songs, and it's all like indie, folk rock, funk type stuff, and you can almost smell like the people that are curating that playlist. But that's not a damning thing at all. Again, it's at the lower level of an active church. Great space. It's got like that linoleum tile that's offset. So it's like green, tan, or, dark tan. The bathrooms haven't been updated since. They're clean, they're spotless, but they haven't been updated. It's the floor urinals. And the one quote that I got,
floor urinals
that I wanted to, the ice troughs are the ones that I would say.
Those are the worst.
Yeah,
ice troughs. I don't want to pee in a trough. I don't know why. I don't want to do it. I don't like it.
So the quote is, Wizard Castle, we're a wizard castle full of mad scientists that love. And I want to go, once I got the ingredients, this is a fruited ale with Montmorency cherries, so we'll have to talk to Randy Orton.
Yeah, Randy Orton will know that.
Where that is in his cherry. It's not a Luxardo. Cinnamon, vanilla bean, and lactose. I like that they put the year on it.
Yeah, that's good too. 7%.
The best part is knowing that it's in the church and they use Wizard Castle full of mad scientists.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much commentary that could just be talked about with the church part.
It's a great space. I implore you to go to artifactbeer.com.
The thing about
tap a couple of colorless and go to Artifact Beer. People will get that reference.
What denomination is that church? Do you remember?
Yes.
What is it? Is it just Christian non-denominational? Is it Catholic?
Cut in the right answer in there.
I don't know that I'll do that, but I might.
Tell me I did a good job answering it.
You did great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, nice. You had that right on the top.
I knew. I just like a katana.
Here's the thing that I feel, and I don't want to. This isn't a political podcast, but I feel like there's been less tolerance for religion, or like just not for religion. There's a lot of religious people, but just like there's a split now. I feel like at Urban Artifact, they do a great job at kind of just being like, there's a church here.
Separate but equal.
But you can be whoever you want to be, and it's all good.
We saw a carnival clown when we were there.
We did. We saw a carnival clown.
Big shoes, and they were just, accepted. And
the bigger the shoes to fill.
When we paid $22 for that Stegosaurus. And it was polarizing. It was a big amount of money that we paid for a beer. It was just a 12-ounce beer, and we shared it betwixt the four of us. And 2 liked it and 2 didn't.
I still have Bobo money. I haven't touched it.
I would just blow it on cocaine, but that's just me. I don't have the money.
You know, my cocaine dealer will not take cash, so I just leave it in my bowling bag.
He or she,
or them,
maybe
whatever.
Maybe they want the cash app.
That's what I have to pay with Venmo.
Oh, Venmo.
Venmo for crack.
Again, something else I don't have.
Mm-hmm. That's actually his username, Venmo for crack. So if you want to give to Venmo for crack, just use that username.
Yeah, don't attach us.
All one word, no caps. Venmo for crack.
I don't even want to make that today's episode title.
I wouldn't. Just given that we're professionals. Outside of beer, we have lives. People don't know that.
Not really.
People might not know that, but Venmo for crack might not affect. It might affect our actual lives a little more.
People point out to me like 3 or 4 times a week that I don't have a life. So
who points that out? What a shit. You have a fucking podcast,
Carl.
You're more important
Aaron,
and popular to the
Jim.
Listen, as far as like the
people in Washington know
from the president.
People in Washington.
Yeah, as far as the lineage from you're up there.
Yeah,
you're known by at least 50 people.
At least 50 people.
Well, probably way more. You're probably higher than I am on the president.
At least 50 people, if they had a gun to their head, would say that they know me.
At least.
I
don't know.
I know him.
I don't know who's holding guns to people's heads and being like, "Do you know this guy?"
Yeah.
But if that guy exists or girl or they them, you'll at least 50.
Yep. 50. I'm confident in saying 50.
Do you know what Cherries Jubilee is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a dessert.
Yeah. What is significant about it?
Cherries.
The thing that is significant about a Cherries Jubilee is that
my answer not
it is
sufficient?
lit on fire. It is lit on fire. Cherries Jubilee was my grandfather's favorite dessert. Every single time I ever went to my grandparents' house for dinner, whether it was a family affair or just a small thing with just grandkids or just me.
When you say a family affair,
like Christmas or whatever.
In this grandiose way, it's not like "Help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck."
What is that?
Oh, that's impressive if you don't get that. Like,
no, I don't get that
reference.
Help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck.
Help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck. Like,
this is some sort of like weird sex thing?
Yeah, adult.
I don't know about that.
Okay. It would have been great, like if you.
Oh man, I wish you
got it.
If it's
You're
porn,
so pure.
If it's porn,
Who said porn?
Let's get right to the point. Skip all the talking. You're stuck. You're stuck. Well, whatever.
The pizza's delivered.
We're stuck here.
Let's get to this.
Yeah, exactly. Like the door's been answered.
That's why I don't have delivery drivers.
Let's just get to it. Fucking busy guy. I don't have time for scripts and shit.
Yeah.
Every time no, I can't say family affair ever again, probably for the rest of my life.
Help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck. There's other people. Maybe not the Washington Brewers, but there's other people that laughed at that. Help me, stepbrother.
Well, could you imagine? My vision for the Major League Baseball is that the Milwaukee Brewers will eventually move to Washington. I'll never have to worry about that.
They've already been to Washington.
They'll move there. They'll be the Washington Brewers.
They already.
Christian Yelich will be their superstar, and Wisconsin will be left with a baseball void.
Only the Raiders would ever do that. Move to a place that they've already been. But the Brewers started off as the Seattle Pilots for 1 year and then moved to Milwaukee.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
That's why I was like, they won't move back.
I thought you were
making
some sort of like Mariners reference.
I don't know. They started off 1 year Seattle Pilots.
Seattle Pilots.
And then because we lost the Braves.
When was this?
68, 69.
So you had the Braves.
Maybe 72.
When did the Braves move? I feel like this is important because if you're
late 50s.
If you are a baseball fan, the Milwaukee Braves are such an important franchise because of Hank Aaron.
Yep. And County Stadium is such an important piece of baseball history because of Major League.
County Stadium.
That's where Major League
That's where it was filmed. And that's why.
And that's where Stacy's uncle,
who
was in Major League, and was the hitting coach for the players, or like Charlie Sheen, Wesley Snipes, Corbin Burnson.
If you can teach Charlie Sheen how to hit.
Yeah. No, hit, not hit.
Right.
Yeah.
If you can teach him how to hit, you should have a job in baseball forever.
He, Stacy's uncle, I think, was up and down for eight or 9 years. He played in Toledo, and
But he was playing.
Yeah, he was up and down majors.
Is he interested in coaching? 8th grader?
No, it's funny because what he did was after his playing career, because money wasn't what it was, he became a teacher.
Well, good.
And then and now
is he a baseball
retired.
coach for the high school?
No.
I'm gonna say this.
We've never talked baseball, but I know I would embarrass myself. Because his boys played too, and they were good.
I'll just say this: my 2 sons are phenomenal, and I think they could even be better. And I think the only thing they lack is a coach better than me.
Could they be
and the Fred McGriff?
Could they be the Fred McGriff back-to-back AAU national champion, where they throw the ball from the outfield into the? It was like the longest running commercial.
Don't get me started, all right? Because that
was the longest running commercial.
My oldest son.
Hi, I'm Fred McGriff.
My oldest son has at least at this point in 2022, the 2021-2022 fall to spring season alone, 3 putouts from the outfield. Throws to home.
It's crazy.
He's so good. I think that the only thing that's missing here is just that one expert that's going to contribute to something I don't know.
I have a coworker that drives his 7-year-old daughter to golf lessons in Columbus.
Yeah.
So they're around. You need
the non-4 major sports. Well, I would actually take hockey out and put it in this conversation. Not baseball, basketball, or football. Every other sport, those kids, dude, they're excelling. The ones who are good at those sports, volleyball, I guess track, lacrosse.
Lacrosse is big here.
Yeah, there's just, and if you're good, you're amazing.
Chuggalos Orion is a legit track coach, and he has a couple of athletes that go to state every year and dominate at state.
It's crazy. You could be really picking one of the top 3. You got to be really good.
Yeah.
But those other ones, you got to be really good. But
in Ohio,
you got a shot.
In Ohio, football's such a big deal that you have 2 options which are authorized to hold your kid back to let them bulk up a little bit to be better. You can do it at kindergarten. You can do it at 6th grade.
That's insane.
And people elect to do it.
They do that
just so their child has a better shot. Another year at football.
Not school.
Football. It's not an educational thing, and you have two off ramps. I think it's at kindergarten and 6th grade. I'm 85% confident in that. You can find out more about that at OhioOffRampBullshit.com.
We're not part of that. Our town does not give a fuck about football.
We're not affiliated with that website.
No, we're not affiliated. We don't advertise or condone.
I just advertised it.
Well, Cherries Jubilee, you light on fire. It was my grandfather's favorite dessert. And at every gathering, he would say, "What's for dessert? Cherries Jubilee?" And my grandmother.
He knew it was coming.
No, it never was. Literally, I've never had Cherries Jubilee with my grandfather, and I believe I've only had Cherries Jubilee one time ever.
I thought you just said that it was always the dessert.
He always said, "What's for dessert? Cherries Jubilee," because he loved it. It was his favorite.
That man worked hard, and he never got it at home?
Oh, he got it. I'm sure he got it out and about.
But never
at home, I don't think. I don't know. I'll have to ask my dad. I've never had it, and I've had it. I've never had it with my grandpa. Anyway, he was also diabetic, so it's probably best that he didn't eat it. I don't think that's
one life to live.
That's true, as he proved. You only got one. So I don't actually know what else other than there's a cherries, there's a syrup,
a liqueur,
the liqueur. There, yeah, that's what you light, I believe.
flambe.
I don't know what else is in there, but
I can do that noise really well.
There's a breadiness to like a cherry crumble that this has that's not actually part of a Cherries Jubilee. But this has a breadiness to it, which I attribute to the lactose. Boy, this beer is good. I don't know. I can't pick out certain things like the cinnamon.
Oh,
you're getting it? I guess it.
I don't want to shit on your review.
No. I guess the cinnamon is there because it's not straight cherry, but it's not. The cinnamon doesn't show up as cinnamon. It shows up as an accent to the cherry. It makes it taste different. But I don't taste cinnamon. I taste just a different type of cherry. I will say that Caterade and I met the Orton couple at Century Bar for just 2 drinks, and the cherries in their Manhattans are just.
They spend some money.
They're almost unbeatable.
Is that the first time you've been to the new space?
The new one, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been to Century Bar a few times.
But the new
one, yeah.
I miss the old space.
It is different. It does hit different now. There's something about being bumped constantly that just makes it different. Like you feel exclusive.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I'm in here.
Too many windows.
But so are all other 20 people, and I feel like there's 100 in here.
Yeah.
Now, if there's 20 people in there, you wouldn't notice.
Did you get an old fashioned? Is that why?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did I say? Manhattan? I meant old fashioned. Whatever I said, I meant old fashioned. I fucking love old fashioned.
I guess I wasn't listening.
The key to an old fashioned, and I disagree with anyone who says otherwise, if you don't muddle the orange, you're wrong.
It depends on what type of old fashioned you're making too, but
just the one I want is the one that's
there. Well, there's.
Don't put the orange in. There's fucking no point in that.
I'm not an old fashioned expert. It's a it's a very polarizing. We have old fashioned mix in this house.
Is it polarizing?
It's 100% polarizing. We have because did you get a bourbon old fashioned?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you get a brandy old fashioned.
No, I don't know. I don't even know what brandy is. What is that? What is brandy?
That's because 90% of the this is your stat for the podcast. 90% of the world's brandy is consumed in the state of Wisconsin. And the reason why that this should be important to your people is because
who are my people?
Fibs congregate, and that's a drink of choice at like supper clubs. So in Wisconsin, because old fashions are like the state drink after beer, probably they sell old fashioned mix. Mm-hmm. And my wife is an old fashioned connoisseur. I know next to nothing about old fashions. But I know Chuggalo Ryan is just sitting there fucking screaming at
I love them.
They're amazing. But you like a bourbon old fashioned.
Yeah, oh yeah.
An old fashioned I don't like brandy.
I don't like it.
Yeah, so it's like J. Bavay or E&J, the staples.
So at the Moon Palace, where I went in Mexico, they make a phenomenal, but they will ask you whether you want your orange muddled, which I just think you should do it.
Now, what kind of like bitters do you want in there?
Fuck if I know. I don't know any of this. I don't know any of the details. I know that I want what's in the old fashioned.
Excellent.
And I want the orange and the.
So like grab that bottle right there.
This one.
It's right on the
on the
pile
coasters.
Of coasters. Yeah. We're getting off. We are talking about Cherries Jubilee. I've been done with my beer for like 10 minutes. Yeah, so this is old fashioned cocktail syrup that I bought for the missus. So Woodford Reserve, a name to be trusted, and she's like, meh. Like this didn't trip her trigger.
Didn't trip her trigger.
Nope. Again, because it's bourbon. But again, like it even tells you how to do it appropriately.
I'll have to try the brandy version, but I feel like
But look at that final ingredient.
Add ice, stir for 10 seconds, and garnish with an orange peel.
Yep.
Now you gotta cut orange slices, thinly sliced, muddle the orange slices. That's where.
Because you want the oils from the peel. That's where you want that. And that's why it's important to muddle.
That does make sense.
But you guys, if you want a good old fashioned in the state of Ohio, you got to go down to Japs in Cincinnati.
No, they did good at Century Bar.
They do an amazing job, but just to get like they have 50 different bitters. I didn't realize the dearth of bitters.
I don't have a bitters background expertise.
I don't either,
guy.
but I just know they're like, what's the
do.
profile do you want with it?
Yeah,
anyways.
But the cherries that they use at Century Bar are phenomenal.
Oh yeah, everything's
I think
top
the
tier.
ones that they use there are Luxardo, like for the old fashioned.
They do. It's
But
Luxardo's.
they're better than the ones I bought. So they buy better ones.
I bet they're soaked. I bet they soak
Mine
their
are
own
soaked.
I bet they soak their own cherries though in booze.
Probably. So good.
But you got to keep in mind too that they like
They're pitted, so there's a hole, but they still snap, which to me is crazy.
They
because pitted cherries don't snap.
They have barrels at specific distilleries in Kentucky where they go build their own bourbon.
Century Bar.
Yeah. I've seen Century Bar barrels.
I do have plenty of criticism of Century Bar. Everyone who's just like, oh, it's amazing, it's the greatest fucking place.
Do you have a card?
No. Their bartenders just they need. I know that this is a daily job.
They've expanded,
and it can get horrible.
Yeah, they've expanded.
I'm sorry, guys. You gotta like not be so. I don't know, uninclusive, or just you don't look like you're bored. That's all.
It was funny. Speaking of bartenders,
Like
and then we're gonna get
that fits the bourbon,
and then we're gonna get to the beer review. I promise. My father-in-law was sitting up in my kitchen, and he was sitting there, and he had a Miller Lite, and I just picked up a mug. I grabbed the towel, and I go, "Hey, tell me all your problems." And he got the reference.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, I need another beer." And I was like, "Yeah,
another beer.
Anything else? Like I'm just polishing this mug. Just know."
That's a whole other thing. We should probably talk about like bartending etiquette in a whole episode.
Tam tots.
Towel drying your glasses,
polishing.
So the whiskey people would be fucking horrified.
Yeah.
But the beer people, they're probably fine with it.
Yeah, but so like a tumbler or whatever, you can better do it with a towel. It's tough to like towel dry a pint glass. It's harder to get down.
Yeah, get down in there, but it's more acceptable to towel dry a pint glass than it is a tumbler. I mean, you can't put a dirty fucking towel in a.
Oh, it's clean every time.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I don't argue that.
They burn the ice every night too.
Who's that?
Every bar.
Yeah, they do. That's why I have like fucking nightmares about ice.
If you ever go to King's Table, when they're burning, when they're pushing lines to clean them,
King's Table, I'm fine with. They're
like 10. We've got like 10 lines down because we're just pushing, cleaning solution through them, and then we'll hook them up.
All right, I've had this whole beer, so I have to rate it now because.
Oh yeah,
I think I did the can art spin. This can art segment brought to you by Chuggalos. Did I not? No, I did. I went up there.
I don't think so.
All right, I'll do it again. Because we're starting over anyway. Here you go. Here it is for those who don't. I mean, the lighting, there's nothing I can do. Oh, yeah, that's better, actually. There's something I can do.
Yeah, see? You obfuscate the patio door.
All right. This is Can art segment brought to you by Chuggalos. Is that what the church looks like?
So that church is on a hill. That's not the church. It's a single spire with 2 adornments on the side or whatever. This is not the Urban Artifact Church.
It's not the Urban Artifact Church. A spire. What is that?
So instead of
is that the bell tower?
You can put a bell tower in a spire if you put like a conical top on it. But this is not, because the Urban Artifact Church is on top of a hill.
Yeah. So Chuggalo Alex, who probably hasn't listened in years, lives right near Urban Artifact.
Also up there in Blue Mound.
He's like walking distance.
It's interesting. I would have never picked that.
This to me looks like a campus, like maybe a college campus, old school, like a Notre Dame type college campus. I don't know. I've not been to Notre Dame. I don't know if they have a lot of old buildings there, but I would assume they do. And it's drawn. You can tell there's the lines and the shading. They're off from each other. It's almost like it was like a watercolor kind of.
It's 100%
kind of look. And the lines are definitely rough. Like even on the clock, they're just crooked, but that's on purpose. That's intentional. It's not like a flaw. There's tree branches that go through the foreground, which is interesting. There's cherry on top of the fountain, or what would be the fountain, or some sort of statue mount, I guess. Cherry statue mount. There's a English double-decker bus. So maybe this is like a British church or something.
Anglican.
Anglican?
Yep, that was the Church of England. Anglican.
Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah. Same.
I don't know. These are just words I've heard.
Sorry.
Other than that, that's the can art. It's pink. It's a can art runner segment. Epicurean is in a foil lettering. Anyway, that's the can art bonus segment. The beer itself, I have rated. I just need to talk about the flavor, and I don't have beer left to talk about it, but I do remember the flavor. It was delicious. I remember having the first few sips. It was great. It was cherry. It was sweet, but there was a breadiness to it. I think I mentioned it before. That kind of reminded me of like a crumble, a cherry crumble, maybe granola of some sort, maybe like a parfait, yogurty granola. There's something in this that's making it bready, but the ingredients, they don't include that, and the cinnamon, I believe, doesn't come through as cinnamon. It comes through as just like a cherry accent. But this beer is really good. The lactose does not overpower the beer. It is a 4.5, an amazing beer. One that I would buy again. The only thing I would ask more of is the cherry. I'm not gonna lie. I need more cherry. That's it.
Off the top rope, I got finished with my beer 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to check the timestamp. This beer is excellent. It's a 4.75. I taste everything. I taste the cherries. I taste the cinnamon. It tastes like the cinnamon is in the cherry syrup.
Yeah,
the vanilla
that's the accent part.
mellows everything out, and the only sweetness, it's not from the cherries. The cherries are more like the tartness, the freshness comes from that lactose, comes from that milk sugar. The body, it's got an amazing body, so it's not a thin fruit beer. This one resonates on the palate for an extended period of time, which you want with a cherry beer, because then you appreciate the richness more than you would just with like a sour beer that has their place, and I appreciate them. This just has a lot more body to it. That might be what JT was calling the breadiness. I'm just calling it a body, because all of those, like the cherries, the cinnamon, and the vanilla intermingle so nicely that this beer is near perfect. Yeah. The decadence of it, it would be tough to drink more than 5 of these in one sitting, but I would feel comfortable drinking the 4-pack all at once. And I wouldn't feel gluttonous at all. Off the top rope, 4.75.
Yeah, definitely well balanced. Good beer. Yeah. That's awesome. So the Epicurean relationship with Urban Artifact.
It's such a weird, it's like the corporate ladder or something like that.
It's not just an Urban Artifact thing.
It is an Urban Artifact because there's an Epicurean brewer. Ironically, they're out of Massachusetts. This is like the Epicurean namesake under the Urban Artifact. So it's like all Epicurean beers are Urban Artifact, but not all Urban Artifact beers are Epicurean. So it's just the best way. Yeah. Just from the little bit of like 3rd grade research that I've done. But they're fantastic. I can't remember. I know I've been disappointed by an Epicurean beer. I think it was the Bloody Mary beer. That beer was atrocious.
Yeah.
We drank that many moons ago. But again, both these websites, both these beers that we did today with the Lord Hobo and the Epicurean, they have resonance. They're something that have become staples. So we didn't do a lot of outreach this episode, but I like that we went with something old that kind of like why we started the podcast, because we all had feelings on it. And then we went with Epicurean, kind of, again, we lambasted that Bloody Mary beer was almost Wild Ohio levels.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was extremely disappointing, like sub 2.25. It was not good at all. This is a redemption beer in comparison to that, because that Cherries Jubilee, I'm not familiar with the dessert, but it elicits like a pastry type feeling, mind idea. Even though I don't think I've ever
that's
had
where my mind was at. Pastry,
flambate or whatever.
With the Bloody Mary one, I will say there's beer that you taste, and then as you drink it, every subsequent sip haunts you.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to drink more of this, but I'm gonna try it again. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Like that's what that Bloody Mary one was.
Now, Grant, we got into story time or whatever. This might be the first beer in a long time that we both had finished.
Yeah.
Before we got to our reviews.
I had to like rate it. I'm glad I was conscious of how much I had left. I was like, all right, what's my score? Here it is. Okay.
I insanely pleased with both of these. Would buy them again at any price point.
Yeah. So good.
I forget what they were. They came in 4-packs, again with the pint cans or whatever, but no disappointment here. Again, both positive experiences. This, if you like cherry beer, like like a Mort Subit or anything like that, this cherry beer would not disappoint, because the cherries are first and foremost. I mean, there's no mistake.
There's enough science behind cherries alone.
Yeah.
To you can start your own cherry podcast. You want to do the Cherry Crew podcast? Do it.
And then we'll put you under the
CCP, by the way.
We'll put you under the BCP flagship.
Yeah,
we'll
do the Cherry podcast. You only last 8 episodes or so.
I mean, that's how podcasts now is popular. They just run a limited series.
Yeah. This was our limited cherry edition. That's a good idea.
We popped it.
All right, I know we're way over where we want to be, but I got one question to keep with the theme of learning Matt. What's the most physically uncomfortable you've ever been?
Physically uncomfortable.
Physically, so like clothes, outfit, costume,
excellent. Oh,
big fucking
you're asking
diving outfit, like physically, or let me give you context.
I already know the situation.
No, look, I know you're gonna answer it already, but like it's kind of fucked up to think about, and I know that it's a horrible situation from beginning to end.
Yeah.
But like when people are shipped via train, they always describe them as like being stacked in there like sardines.
Yep.
That I have like anxiety thinking about being in that situation where you can't, like, even if you were to like leave your feet, you'd still be elevated. And people are like pissing and shitting. I'm mostly kind of referring to like a Holocaust type situation where people were shipped. And I don't want to talk about that on this podcast, but like as far as being physically uncomfortable, I have that would scare the fuck out of me.
So during the slave trade, they would stack them vertical, or they would stack them horizontally down that.
It just sounds fucking awful.
And the bottom individuals, unfortunately, would die because they would drown in the
piss and shit.
Yeah,
that's just like crazy. I don't mean to take it to that level, but
so historically, the reason why I bring that up
is
because they would go south of the equator, and then 5 degrees north of the equator and 5 degrees south, they call that the horse latitudes. The reason why they call it the horse latitudes is because there's no wind. There's no trade winds or anything. You have to go like 10 north, 10 south for that. So the reason why it's the horse latitudes is you would want to ditch weight to make yourself lighter, more agile. So they would always throw the horses over. So they always called it the horse latitudes.
What effect? We should have put this at the beginning of the podcast because this is like really interesting.
So anyways, your question is the most uncomfortable
Most
I've ever been.
physically uncomfortable you've ever been.
So I dressed. I was making a statement. I think it was junior year because I had chemistry. I dressed in drag on not a Halloween because I dressed in drag. So just as a whim, I had an older sister that was pretty awesome that would enable this and would help me out with the accoutrement or whatever. I dressed in drag, and some of my best friends wouldn't even talk to me. Like, physically moved their desks away from me.
Wow.
And I just was like trying to get a rise out of people, and I wasn't making a statement more so. There was nothing on the surface level.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make people laugh and hilarious. Yeah. And there's pictures. I've got a couple of pictures of me, but I had some of my good friends to this day that wouldn't even talk to me.
Wow.
At school. Yeah, junior year because I was in chemistry class, and people like picked their desks up and moved away. Like I was never the last in a row.
Then,
yeah.
You know, early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah, so that would have been the year 2000.
2000.
Because
junior year. Like back then, it was different then, and yeah.
That was chemistry was sixth period. It was with Mr. Fritz, and I don't want to name the names, but there's individuals that just pick their chairs up and won't even talk.
But you were physically uncomfortable because they picked their chairs up.
Yeah, like if
the
they had they I can tell you the outfit I was wearing. It wasn't anything like just really short booty shorts and a t-shirt, a wig and fishnets and whatever.
The early 2000s were the days of the low-rise jeans. You weren't wearing low-rise jeans.
No, we had wide leg jeans like Jinkos. I couldn't afford Jinkos, but
men had wide leg jeans. I had those too. I'm talking about women. They had low rise jeans.
Oh yeah.
They were wearing jeans that like just came above the top of their vaginas.
I mean, I guess I never.
I don't know how high
but
their vaginas are going, but these jeans were low.
But and I turned out all right. But yeah. So anyways. That's probably one of the. I mean, I regret it, but it was. I had super fun. Like, I had teachers that were like, "What the
Why did you do that?
Because now there would be a statement.
So other than just to make other people feel awkward, why did you?
It wasn't meant to make people feel awkward. It was just on a whim, and I was put on this earth to make people laugh or whatever. I thought people would laugh.
So yeah.
But like when people went talk to me,
misread it. Yeah.
And they're still my friend to this day, but that day
they were like, "What's going on with this guy?" All right, that's all right.
Yeah. You have anything like that? You ever dressed in drag?
I did not. I've never dressed in drag. Actually, I've never dressed.
Like for your Halloween party a couple years ago. Like that's me and my. Like
that was awesome.
Like
that was Matt
I feel
at his maddest.
100% comfortable.
Yeah, I think that
could care less.
That was perfect. It was a great
what I'm talking about.
It was a great kickoff to the Halloween party.
Yeah.
No, I have not done that. I'm not dressed in drag.
I've done that multiple times.
I'm pretty cautious about leaving the house uncomfortable. I don't know why, where it comes from. I think it might be some sort of like OCD or something, but
yeah.
Like if the walk from the bedroom to the front door, I'm like, am I uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Will I regret this later? And every once in a while, I'll leave the house regretting it, but yeah, I don't normally.
I have one last.
Myself be uncomfortable.
This is a more modern take. So I go to bed early. I'm not doxing myself. So typically in bed by like 7 or whatever. And
no, you're not doxing yourself.
All of us were. It was 7-11, and my wife goes to bed with her phone, and she just happened to be home, and she goes, "Oh, your Amazon package is here." So I sleep just in my boxers, and I want to go get the package. So I run downstairs. I grab a T-shirt, and I put it on. And I go to the front door. Well, the T-shirt is like up around like my chest.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just got gut and boxers.
You haven't pulled it down, or it doesn't pull down?
It typically pulls down. I just happen to like.
You're just like fuck it.
Yep. So I open the door. There's a woman at my mailbox with a large Belgian Malinois, and you just hear a door open. So you look over. So there's me fumble fucking with my T-shirt. gut, boxers.
There's no gut. Let's be honest.
And gut and boxers, and I bend over, and then she starts laughing. And at that point, like, I'm not gonna pull it down like she's already seen. There's not a lot left of mystery there, but yeah, she saw everything, and then I
It's
just went back
ballsy of
upstairs.
her to laugh, unless she knew that you were a straight married couple.
Yeah, so I didn't know.
That might be your style.
But she giggled and she kept walking.
That might be your style, though.
But she could feel that I was like still like because your shirt
fumbling
gets
with
rolled
it.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking.
Okay. Well, as long as that.
So that was just last Thursday evening.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah. Didn't want that gift to stay out or that game to stay out all night.
Yeah, the leave it on the porch option is my favorite thing that's come out of COVID. I don't like answering the door. I don't enjoy strangers. That's the thing I have, and I'll deal with it my own way.
Strangers are just friends you haven't met yet.
Yeah, yep, I agree, but I don't like strangers, and I like to leave it that way.
All right.
So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, that's just.
I
wasn't uncomfortable. I just laughed at it. It's
no,
just a fun story. That's me in a nutshell.
I don't fucking know.
I'm very cool with male femininity.
I was pretty uncomfortable in the Macho Man outfit, but that's but I did a terrible job with that, so I don't really know. That's it. Now we know a little more about Matt, and we'll continue to over time. That's it, episode 23, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks.